Greetings and welcome to a Wednesday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is November 26th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I'm doing all right. I gotta say, last night hit me like a ton of bricks. It felt like I was cramming for a college, final, where I've just sat down, 9 p.m. Let's get after this year in review research. I can't believe it's here again.
I feel like just like one of those quarterbacks who just can't. He just starts throwing wounded ducks. Like you can't. You don't know if you have it anymore. Like this game's passed me by. We're really putting the hard sell in here with the enthusiasm, but
like Aaron Rodgers.
I found many things that I started to burst out laughing, laugh out loud. There is the process. It is arduous, but you come across those things. And I was doing it. I was researching in bed, and I started shaking uncontrollably. My wife woke up with my laptop. I'm just like, "What the hell are you doing?" I was like, "Well, I found this interview with Andy North, and you won't believe it." She doesn't want to hear that. She's asleep. So there are many laugh out loud moments coming to you. It's your review for the 7th annual edition. I believe we started this as like, oh shoot, we have a 3 times a week podcast. Nothing's going on in December. We just said, let's do year review. Let's have some fun. I think it was 4 episodes starting about December 17th back then. Now it's, 9 episodes.
Got unwieldy. We're here though. We're doing it again.
We're here. 7th year. An annual tradition. Often the listener, if you're new and maybe you are, the listeners among their most favorite, products or stretches on the podcast. It is not a blow by blow. We'll get to it and explain it here in a minute. But first, let's get to our schedule for the week, Thanksgiving week. I know everybody's very excited for Thanksgiving week golf. It's one of the most important weeks on the calendar. We have the BMW Australian PGA Championship at Royal Queensland in Brisbane. That's 9:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. So that's a cocktail golf.
Event of the week.
All right, there we go. If you just want to counter, you don't watch some stinky Ravens-Bengals game. I heard they're bringing Jason Garrett in for Chris Collinsworth on that Thursday night game. I mean, what a substitute.
What did Garrett say about the football game this weekend? Your Syracuse Orange.
He said as Notre Dame was up 70-0 with 1 minute left in the game, he made the astute observation that Notre Dame did everything they needed to win today.
That's the kind of observation you can only get from a university school prepper. That's where Jason Garrett, Northeast Ohio.
Who would you compare Jason? Who's Jason Garrett's golf equivalent from the analyst standpoint?
Oh boy.
Did something in the game that got him this analyst job, and maybe shouldn't be doing this.
I mean, I have an answer.
Oh, you gotta let it go.
Do we have to?
You're not doing the
fire off the bazooka,
favors.
Joe?
What?
Do we have to fire off the bazooka? Like, I mean, not a drive-by. I don't know. Maybe Noda.
Sorry, my head was going too. Do you have a different answer?
Well, I was going to say, I don't know. Jason Garrett's still buddy with all the Cowboys guys he coached. Kevin Kisner's buddy with a lot of guys out there. I feel like,
I found a great Kevin Kisner quote about the job, getting the job.
Kevin
Kisner will be prominently featured in tonight's dealings, I think.
Well, if you don't want to watch Jason Garrett, you can watch the Australian PGA Championship Thursday night, 9:30 to 1 on Golf Channel. That finishes Saturday night. Elsewhere, we have if you want to be just a golf sicko, you have a problem. I guess you can watch Let Golf from Malaga, Spain, the Costa del Sol Open. That's coffee golf, Let Golf. And then Friday morning, its own coffee or Bloody Mary golf. We have the Capital One Skins game on Amazon Prime. Capital One just always available for these sort of alt golf hit and giggle type events. The skins game is back.
Guess what? The debt world's a good world to be in right now. There's a lot of it going around, and rates are really high. So there's plenty of money to throw around, apparently.
That's on Amazon Prime, the Capital One skins game. Good to have the skins game back, I suppose. I got some good, that's at Panther National, if you're not familiar with it, down there in South Florida. I have some great Panther National drama. Comes courtesy of friend of the program, Brentley Romine, who I believe has reported this or written about it on his College Golf Talk podcast. So this is a fun story. FAU hosted its annual fall tournament for the first time at Panther back in October. It was an average field with USF, Troy, UCF. The entry fee sounds like it was quite pricey, like $3,600. Outside food and beverages prohibited, though some teams smuggled in Gatorades in kind bars to avoid the $6 Gatorade charge that they were putting on for your Gatorades. Course ended up providing water, Gatorade kind bars, but no clue what was eventually charged to FAU. Parents were also having trouble getting through the gate to watch their kids. Too many Panthers roaming about. The format was supposed to be 36 holes Monday, 18 on Tuesday, so 54 in October. You gotta play fast. Players are going to do tee times in carts as well because the course didn't have enough mowers to get the course ready for a shotgun start. Tuesday would be a shotgun start a little later at 8:30. Heavy rains on Sunday prohibited carts. Who would have seen that coming? On Monday, and the second round was suspended for darkness because they were trying to do 36 holes in October, college golfers. They had 6 holes to play, not close. So seems simple. Finish on Tuesday morning at 7:30, then delay the shotgun start an hour and a half or so, and just do a regular old 18 round on Tuesday. There's one big problem. The contract with Panther stipulated that Tuesday would be an 8:30 shotgun start and play needed, all caps, to be done by 1:30 for member play. So you got member play, 1:30 coming in. Pretty hard, I guess, a hard stop.
Hard stop.
Because, little Mrs. Smith had to go out there with Joe Schmo and whack it around.
Panther National doesn't strike me as a little Mrs.
No,
Smith place. It's more of a Joey Bananas, 38-year-old banker from New York kind of place.
I think I would agree with that. Maybe a certain brand of clothing. We've already been drive-buying.
We don't need to say anything
we've been
more.
Drive-buying everything. Joey Bananas and Johnny Slim. On Monday evening, Panther National huddled with the coaches on tournament committee and provided them 2 options: complete round 2 in an hour to make an 8:30 shotgun. So you had to do 6 holes, or whatever players don't finish by 8:30, cut them from the tournament and play on. With the coaches telling the course that those aren't options, the decision was quickly made to cancel the 3rd round.
What?
Teams returned Tuesday, finished off round 2, and headed to the airport. So no day. Coaches are pissed. Other side of the story is that some teams had flights to catch as well, so they wouldn't have had time anyway, even if the course had allowed them to play past 1:30. Teams burned a day of competition entry fee. Tarleton State was your champion over clear favorite USF, University of South Florida. I love this. People smuggling in Gatorades, just kind of a Malta conference of trying to figure out how to get done in time, solve world peace, and eventually just canceling to get out of the way from Johnny Bananas or Joey Bananas, however you called him. That's the skins game, Panther National. It's great unveiling. That'll be Friday morning, Amazon Prime.
Do you think they're going to be jamming Shane Lowry for Gatorades?
No. I mean, I wouldn't mind if they gave the players Bloody Marys. I know these are athletes and all this stuff, but it's just a casual hit and giggle. Make it like 4 fellas who would normally play.
Are you going to be tuning in?
I don't know. That's my answer. Probably try, not because I'm against it, but there's just a lot of moving parts. I'll probably have it on. Will you? 6 a.m. where you live. Friday.
I'm gonna save my sports capital that day for the Bears game.
That's a good one. Also,
I will probably watch it so I can fast forward through all the uninteresting dead air that they have to cover. as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a worthwhile endeavor, worthwhile try. We'll see how well it does, and Amazon's obviously invested.
We will. What I don't get is why nobody will do any of these post-produced after all the success we're seeing with post-produced stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a fair question. Is there a live rights just fee that's more appealing than the Dunkin' Donuts
money
ad afterward? Yeah, but not audience necessarily. Maybe
it's very clear what format the consumer prefers, and we haven't seen the best players in the world play in that format, and that sucks.
Yeah.
And every one of these, it's just going to continue to be, why does this take 6 hours to do? Why? And that's what it's good. That's the story is going to be on Friday. Is I can't believe that took 6 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it could have been 45 minutes post-produce and millions of more people would watch.
They're just going to be hammering you with Black Friday because it's that kind of frictionless commerce you get for the Thursday night football games now. Like I kind of miss, like I've said, I miss the old days when people get trampled to death at the door on Black Friday. People get, run over at midnight on Friday. Not actually to death. I'm not pro-death here, but like, can we just roll it back here where you got to actually work for it? You gotta fight through people in the aisles, and now we're supposed to watch Skins game and hit the QR code, push the button. Like,
think about that. Think about what it used to be. It used to be absolute chaos.
I mean, I didn't partake, but I enjoyed the local news stories about the fist fights. That and apparently Wednesday night, these Gen Zers, PJ needs the answer for him. The biggest part of the year has just been. I don't know what they're staying inside to help bake the apple pie on Thursday morning. It just seems like that's been hollowed out a little bit. That was always absolute highlight of the year, Wednesday night, coming back from college, seeing who's who. And even though it was such like the good old days, but it was the good old days were like 2.5 years ago, where you're meeting up with your friends, drinking in one of their basements.
I don't know. Still a thing. I will say, as we've gotten older, our 10 a.m. call for the Turkey Bowl on Thursday has gotten tougher and tougher. I think there are going to be plenty of people worse for the wear on Thursday morning on my side. So
I hadn't even thought that Wednesday was just 2 days away. I got a lot of things going on in my life right now that are pulling me in different directions. But I'm enthusiastic now, thinking that Wednesday might be an opportunity for me to take a full swing.
Biggest bar night of the year. There you go.
There you go.
I haven't had a full cut in a while.
Come out of your shoes. Well, you put in the work here for your review. Hey, let's get to it.
Anything you'd be looking for on your Christmas list? Anything you'd be throwing bows for in a Black Friday situation if we rolled everything back and the internet didn't exist anymore?
Well, there's one thing, if you propose to me, I don't know about specific product, but you propose to me better sleep, I would absolutely throw bows, bite kneecaps, to quote Dan Campbell. I would go full Dan Campbell to get better sleep. And one way that I have documented proof here. I've documented proof. I'll go Shador right now and show off the wrist with my little Whoop. This is not an ad for Whoop, but I do get data from Whoop. I've gone to the bullpen and brought in Lagoon, and I am getting excellent green zone readouts with my Lagoon. I don't know. Maybe it's partly due to my health consciousness, but I think a lot of it, Lagoon, when I switch in and out, I have some A/B testing going on. Lagoon is a green zone pillow right now for me. I don't know if that's part of their ad read or substantiated claim, but I'm telling you, personal anecdote, it's been a green zone pillow for me. You go to lagoonsleep.com/SGS to check out more. You take their personalized quiz. They've got their own Black Friday sale going on, $25 off every pillow. 50% off pillowcases with the purchase of a pillow. I'm under the impression, I don't think you could have enough pillowcases. You could just stack those to the ceiling in your sort of a linen closet. Can never have enough
I
pillows.
completely agree with that.
So 50% off pillowcases, $25 off every pillow, $60 off 2 pillows. You go to lagoonsleep.com. It's a 2-minute quiz. You find the perfect pillow, how you sleep, what attributes you're looking for. Go to lagoonsleep.com/SGS. Go to the right URL. I think we get more credit for that if you go to lagoonsleep.com/SGS. Something to throw bows for in the aisles, but you don't have to. You can use that URL.
Well, you could throw bows, work yourself up into tizzy, and then to have the best night of sleep of your life.
I love it. Love it. I'm going to need it because we're in the throes of year in review research. I need that rest because
I know when I finished mine last night, I just was out.
You're done.
Right on that lagoon pillow. Don't remember thinking about anything except for I shut my eyes. I was gone.
All right, let's get to it. As you know, quick details. You've probably listened to this before. We alternate events. It used to be just Andy and I going back and forth. One person does full, just goes, head first into research of that week. PGA Tour only. So we start with the Sentry. In theory, we're supposed to go through Eastlake. Rarely ever make it through Eastlake. Kind of conscientious objectors to that event. And we go back and forth. We brought in PJ this year, like last. I think KVV is going to help us and occasionally jump in with the week. And everybody else is cold. And you're like, do you remember this? Do you remember that? We're not going play-by-play here. Hideki Matsuyama got up and down from the left side to win the Sentry. That's not what we do. We're looking for amusements, odds and ends, inanities that will hopefully make you giggle from now until about Christmas, maybe even the new year. Should we get to it? Andy?
Yeah.
Should we jump on in? I was assigned the Sentry. So
I had the same first two events.
As what? Last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I looked at my old doc.
I think we copy pasted a lot from last year. Let's begin with the Sentry. Now, not during Sentry Week. This was a 2024. I kept looking for it. I said, PJ, I can't find this. Am I just bad at researching now? And the hard cut. PJ, do you have the hard cut?
The PGA Tour's top FedEx Cup performers will arrive in Maui at Kapalua Resort's iconic plantation course to play the Sentry and start the opening drive of our 2025 season.
So good. That happened in December, right around the same day at Spitball, and had his interview with Rich Lerner. This doesn't technically fall in 20.
We sure are spitballing, aren't we, Rich?
25-year in review, but 24 doesn't cover it. Predates, so we can't just live out there untouched. So we brought that in to get us going. RIP the opening drive, by the way. Is the opening drive dead?
It's got to be. Is this the worst audio edit in all of history?
The PGA Tour's top FedEx Cup performers will arrive in Maui at Kapalua Resort's iconic plantation course to play the Sentry and start the opening drive of our 2025 season.
Pete, what would you have done in that situation? We need a true audio professional in here to weigh in. What would you have done in that situation?
You could have faded it out, faded it together a little bit better. I feel like I maybe have more access to you than asking Jay to record that whole line again from a producer's standpoint.
Sure.
So, we could have. It didn't have to be a hard cut. There was something we absolutely could have done to maybe just call it the Tournament of Champions. Let one slide. Who does it hurt at the end of the day?
It's nothing. They change these names every year.
Exactly.
Nothing matters anymore. It's like, God, they got $1.5 billion. They can't get an audio editor. All right. Let's get to it. The Sentry. The year ends and begins with freak injuries. Scotty Scheffler, cuts his hand making pasta on Christmas. All of a sudden, he's not there. Loses a little bit of luster. One unplanned was Victor Hovland jammed his toe on a bed frame and snapped it off. I think he did attempt to play through it, but we're like, already we're missing. Like, Rory never plays there. Shane Lowry was like, do you want me to get on a 24-hour flight after the holidays to go try and shoot 61 4 days in a row? Not happening, was his quote. So we had a little bit of some missing star power at the Sentry. speaking of hard cuts and audio editing, the PGA Tour opens the season, debuting and showing off its new studio setup. Not quite the glow ho, but the adjacent glow ho with the drone video that flies all over it. It starts on 17T at Sawgrass with Aaron Rye for, I don't know, reasons that are unclear to me why Aaron Rye was involved in this big unveiling of the PGA Tour. You got Jay staring at the wall of screens. We're showing this now in the YouTube version of it.
Whoever uses that room with all the screens.
Tiger was there. Tiger's looking at like hologram Tiger. I mean, it's this drone, one of those, I don't know if these have passed their time, but where you fly all around and debut it. So this was their big unveiling of the building adjacent to the glow ho that wasn't cheap in and of itself. So the new PGA Tour Live studios. So the broadcast allegedly can only go up from here. What else do we have going into Sentry? I'm a little rusty here. Max Homa, caddy change for the week. Now this was the harbinger of things to come. Do you remember who caddied for Max Homa?
Max Homa was it was JT's caddy.
No,
it was Greller.
It was Greller.
Michael Greller. Interesting little one week dalliance with Michael Greller, because I think Joe Griner had something going on. Hovland, along with the broken toe, says on again, off again, done with Joe Mayo. This was I'm out with the Mayo man. We're off again now. But I think by the end of the year, they would be back on the Mayo man and Hovland.
That's the story of 2025. Homa was done with Blackburn. Guess who's back with the number one teacher in the world?
All comes around. Do you know who held the first 18-hole lead of the year?
I have
important stuff. Tom Hoagie.
Tom Hoagie. That is important stuff.
That is important. We wish we would have gotten more Tom Hoagie. I don't know that it was all uphill from there. Max Homa says, comes out clean with the new. He has a one-time caddy. This is a big story of the week. We were missing all these. Homa changes were the big story. He's got Lululemon, and he's gone from Titleist to Cobra. So he's got Cobra. There's a lot of content on his Cobra. He said, I consider myself low maintenance. I don't enjoy being the center of attention, but I wanted to experience what it feels like to be the center of attention, and feeling wanted is a nice thing. I think talking about going to market and being bid around. And he was Cobra won that bid. What else happened? JT starts the week by saying he can have a Scotty-like year. He truly believes he can have a Scotty-like year. It's not realistic in the percentages and likeness of it, but it's probably not. But I fully believe I can have the year that Scotty just had. Not the most insane thing, but he did win. He did win at Harbortown. He did get that win, and now we're here a year later, and he's had this microdiscectomy, which would be awful. But JT's obviously a confident golfer and super competitive, rightfully so. But that's how he started this season. That's some of the accounting.
Maybe we should all. This is the power of positive thinking, there.
Yep. Other little odds and ends. Keegan has a mustache. A lot of mustache content. One year it's Eric Van Rooyen. This year it was Keegan is he going to shave the mustache? There's the mustache. It's very predominant. What's going on?
I don't want to spoil things, but TGL is coming in the next week. Keegan showed up to the triple header at President's Cup or President's Day weekend, and in a green shirt, and I think it was Nelly said that he looked like Luigi on her Instagram story. So
he did. It was
the mustache was prevalent in the beginning part of the year.
Robust. This is the kind of important discourse going on at the Sentry. Mark Rolfing reports ahead of the tournament, while, quote, it's not a done deal yet, there have been a number of discussions about changing the plantation course from par 73 to 72, turning the fifth hole from a par 5 into a par 4, the 500. So that was the big drama. Hideki goes crazy, wins at 35 under, beats Colin Morikawa by 32 under. And we're getting reports of just going mini Summerlin model.
You know what we have to say here?
What's that?
This might have been the last time we ever see Kapalua on TV.
That's I bring that up now, being like, well, like we may never know. We may never know. Par 72, just in theory, maybe. Reports from the ground to us that Bobby McIntyre had his eyes on the drone, was very anxious about the amount of drones in Sentry. Bobby Mack, of course, played Dubai the next week, and we had a lot of fascination with this. How do you get from the middle of the Pacific to Dubai? And so Bobby Mack played Kapalua.
Do you think you go east or west?
He went to Dallas. We went Dallas to Dubai is how we got. So that was a big.
How
Bobby
would you have
Mack.
gone?
I mean, I think I would have gone technically west to go to the Far East.
I would have gone to Tokyo.
Then had some fun, explored the.
Done a 24-hour layover there.
Yeah, there you go.
Then knocked out the rest.
Adam Schenk got the Hawaiian tourism spot planting a tree. So which, maybe is a further harbinger of the tour just not wanting anything to do with Hawaii. That's not, I don't know. It used to be so-and-so zip lining through the woods, but Adam Schenk planting a tree. This was bad. Reports are it's playing wet. They're like very wet.
Oh, so
and
soft.
It was so soft. Like these guys were like shocked at the way the balls were not rolling out, sticking.
Remember on 18?
Hitting 5 irons in the ball, just like having zero roll with low irons. Go ahead.
On 18, the ball was barely rolling.
We got word that there hadn't been a lot of rain, but it was like some rain early ahead of the tournament week, but it's really crazy, crazy soft. This would be just the beginning of a year of Ryder Cup pay for play gate. This was a big story this week. Part of Doug Ferguson reporting, Joel Beal. Xander Schauffele asked to comment on the record already. Says, I just see it as a whole lot of money going to charity, and we're going to take a lot of crap. Keegan at the Kapalua said, our timetable got screwed up when the report came out about more increased stipends. Our plan wasn't to have this happen so quick. We're just trying to do the right thing. This is ultimately a PGA of America decision. All we want to do is give more back and make more of an impact. All right. When it comes to the Ryder Cup, Patrick Cantlay said, I'm focused on representing my country and winning points for my teammates. Right now, I'm focused on completely trying to make the team. And the same Schauffele said, I'm looking at it as an opportunity to give away more money. Oh, that's all it is. Just an opportunity to give away more money. It's never going to be perceived that way, just with how the media talks about stuff. He might be right. And how things shook down in Italy. It's going to charity. I spoke to Keegan. He had a plan before, and that got blown up by the leak of the whole thing. Keegan had a plan to get all the boys to do something really nice. And now everyone is pointing fingers on how this thing is shaken down. Learning from the PGA Tour, we're going to give back to the community however we can help, whether it's the fire department or NYPD or you name it. Keegan is from the Northeast, and we'll take his lead. Are we gonna follow up and audit that? Keegan is from the Northeast, and we're gonna take his lead. So did Keegan just?
I have
when they get paid.
Maybe he talked to his friends at the Nassau Players Club. And talk to them about what to do with it.
This guy's got the right idea.
Is this all going to like the Boys and Girls Club of Dorchester or Quincy, Massachusetts somewhere? That Xander's just forking it over? Are they taking his lead? What's going on here? All right. Score discourse, a lot of score discourse. Keegan wins at 35 under, lowest score ever on the PGA Tour. They talk about how few 30 under or better there have been. With the record books, they're obviously mostly all from the Plantation course, aside from an occasional Byron Nelson. So Hideki shatters the record with 35 under. He goes 65, 65, 62, 65, beats Colin Morikawa by 3. Colin live on TV. Live TV, they go to Colin, not expecting this, maybe from Hatton or somebody. He goes, excuse my language, but fuck. 35 under is really low. Just lets it fly on a live Golf Channel report. And they scrub, apologies. Lets it fly. Taylor Pendrith makes an albatross, the first one ever in the 27-year history of the Sentry or Mercedes-Benz Championship, whatever they used to call it. He claims
Should be it was GLS championship.
He claims it was his 8th albatross. That seems high, even for a professional golfer, but that was a big moment of discourse. Opening night rosters for the first TGL match between New York Golf Club and Bay Golf Club are released. So that gets everybody worked up. PJ is really mad that Cam Young is put on the bench because it's Fitz, Xander, and Ricky.
They went with the big brand appeal.
They
Yeah,
sure
and
did.
how'd that work out? How'd that work out for everybody?
Tough start from NYGC.
We have this new $1 billion TV studio, and we say we're going to get a lot more walk-in talks. And JT commits to a walk-in talk later in the week. Remember when he said, "I will never ever do this"? He does one. He complains about, "Can we do this downhill next time?" Because I guess he's huffing and puffing. But the first ever walk-in talk of the new Global Home high-tech studios, first ever walk-in talk, is none other than Peppy Peter, just giggling. Here's the visual. He's shouting with T. Lou. They plugged T. Lou in, wheeled him out there for the walk and talk with Peppy Peter. And they were talking about bucket hat strategy. Is it too windy for a bucket hat on the slopes of Kapalua? That's your first walk and talk of the season. Elsewhere in broadcasting for the PGA Tour Live, we had Andy North, him of Bad to the Bone ringtone, does an interview with newly appointed Creator Council member Fat Perez. So what a duo this is. Andy North, who I think you talked about, Andy, you're like, I was watching tournaments when I was like 6, and Andy North was on the call, and here he is.
Yeah, still going. Now he's appealing to the Z's.
Now he's talking to Fat Perez, and I don't think he quite understood, do I call this gentleman by his proper surname? And he threw it back to the studio with a great ending to his interview.
One quick one before he lets you go. Who's going to win?
Give me Xander. He loves this golf course. He's got one of the best golf swings in the world, and Scotty's at home, so everybody's got a chance, right?
Pretty good pick, guys. Thanks a lot, Fat. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Fat, is how Mr. Andy North signs off with the influence of the YouTube crowd. Just kind of you look back on this one. We got a big storyline with Will Zalatoris, all the muscle he had put on. He looked, I don't know, swole, but he looked much more thick. And then again, he got bit by the injury bug, right? He was a big focal point. Zalatoris returning, got a bunch of muscle on. He's going to have a big year, and he got hurt again. Breaking this week was, I think Gabby Herzig had this in The Athletic. New Tour Championship format's coming. This is a big thing. New Tour Championship format's coming. The PGA Tour was in advanced discussions to convert it into a bracket-style championship with the potential of match play. I think they thought there would be stroke play from Wednesday to Saturday, then with eight-player matches, 2 rounds of match play on Sunday, with like major differences in money from 1 to 8. But there was pushback. Adam Scott, I'm pretty much open-minded to explore anything, but I'm unsure about that. It's hard to see where match play fits into pro golf. We play the whole season one way. We have the final week head-to-head match play. It doesn't make a lot of sense. We have a look at it, but you have to kind of sell me on that just a little bit more. Tour Championship has been a legacy-type event, and it's been lost in the FedEx Cup. It went from 2 tournaments, 2 trophies to 1 trophy. It'd be nice to reestablish the Tour Championship as a legacy-type event. Of course, Peppy Peter had a lot of thoughts. I don't know how many times he's made it to East Lake, but he had a lot of thoughts on the format at East Lake as a board member. I guess he should. I'm hopeful we can do away with the starting strokes thing because I hate that. That's become a part of the conversation every year. He wants out, and they did. Maybe he's the one that drove it through.
Peppy
He's
Peter,
like the Mitch McConnell or whoever gets things done. He's the whip. I think it's important that we maintain a season-long element to it. If you played a Scotty Scheffler season, you shouldn't get the Tour Championship and start even with everyone else. Well, what do you want then? Starting strokes, I don't really know. He contradicts himself. There's different ways it could go, but I don't know what direction it's going to go yet. Apparently, the partners were pissed at the starting strokes, according to this report. There's data that says the numbers aren't good in terms of viewers for the Tour Championship. So we want to be the focus on the Tour Championship, not just who won the FedEx Cup. And of course, we know where we get by about July on that. But the match play, this was when it seemed like match play was hot. bracket might happen. And number 1 through 8 being a huge discrepancy in prize money. What else? We had a lot of creator council talk. This happened late December.
Do you think the creator council is just going to fizzle away?
Has it not already? I feel like we haven't heard anymore. Like they brought Fat Perez out there to do this big sort of integration.
I thought Fat handled himself well in that.
Totally. He was great. He was great.
I think he might be the best influencer.
He does seem like a good chap.
Yeah. I think he's like the most normal good guy influencer out there.
We'll have to do some background research on all of them. I feel like there's got to be some who are not. Feels like there's got to be some unscrupulous characters.
I was taken aback by DOD King during the Internet Invitational.
Thirsty King for sure. So yes, the Creator Council is fresh, has just convened, and they're discussing fan engagement strategies, collaborative content opportunities, PGA Tour media regs, PGA Tour event and broadcast enhancement, and the Creator Classic evolution. So I don't know how much of that platform is DOA or what's going on. If the Creator Council is still alive, I don't know. But this was hot the week of Kapalua. And then we get RIP, last but not least, this week. We get news that Tiger Woods has won the PIP from 2024. This comes out this week.
I had this in mind.
Okay. He played whatever he played 4 times, 3 times. Tiger wins the PIP. Came out this week. Goes Tiger, Scotty Scheffler. So Tiger takes home $10 million. Scotty, Rory, Xander, Spieth, your guy, just a guy, 5th. Beats Colin Morikawa, Shane Lowry, Justin Thomas, Tommy Fleetwood, and Wendy Clark, still, dining out off the big slice from LACC, winning the 24 PIP or getting in the top 10, 24 PIP. So,
do you happen to know how much money Tiger made over the 4 years of the PIP?
Is it 40 million? Was it always the top prize?
$45 million. He played like 8 times.
Well, his meltwater mentions are just through the roof. Doesn't have to play. That does it for this Kapalua. Fewer delights, but Hideki goes crazy. Wasn't really close. He mops up on Morikawa. We start this discourse about Morikawa's had like 14 of his last 14 starts. He's been in the top 5, however many times. Little did we know, like that would persist to Bay Hill. It would kind of boil over Bay Hill and then continue all through the summer. So that was it. Hideki beats Colin Morikawa at 35 under. All right, where are we off to next? Sony.
We're off. No, we're not off to Sony. We're off to the SoFi Dome in Jupiter, Florida, for the kickoff of TGL. I forgot about this being like a huge part of the early parts of weeks for the first quarter of the golf season.
Yeah,
underestimated it in my research. Also, just anecdotally, I think it led to a lot less content about pro golf, like the PGA Tour.
I would agree. Oh, one lasting thing. Just as you go to SoFi, you were incredulous about Kapalua was described on PGA Tour Live as a nice little warm-up event. And Andy had this great big tweet. The purse is $20 million with 59 guys. You get $340 per player. How are we calling this a warm-up event? And it felt like kind of a warm-up event for SoFi Center. Because all the pub, like you just said, not a lot of discourse on Sony, Hideki, and calling it a warm-up event. I just got to get that out there as you talk about the discourse falling back. All right, go ahead.
You were on fire first night of TGL, by the way. I gotta say, looking back, you turned back the clocks. It was like your 2014 self on Twitter.
All right.
Just getting takes out.
Okay.
I also think it's just a perfect format for you. You were like a pig in the tin shit.
I mean, we all were.
So TGL kicks off. The intro was so long, if you remember. It took 15 minutes before they even hit a shot. The intros were so awkward. Shane Lowry walked out to snap your fingers.
Oh, I don't remember that. Shane Lowry.
Oh my
God.
Something that got scrubbed from the internet that was sad. But luckily the Shotgun Start account took a screenshot of was the diehard NYGC fan that everybody said was a plant.
Crisis
and Josh
Act.
Carpenter was the first person he got video of him, I think from in the stadium waving a flag around like this.
Yeah.
He later I think he was forced to take it down by the powers that be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it actually turned out that this guy was just a diehard NYGC fan, or so we were told. That became the story. This guy just was a huge fan, and earnestly a huge fan. But it was just like it's opening night. Nobody's seen this before, and then there's one lunatic fan in the crowd that stuck out like a sore thumb. One of my favorite things uncovering was all the content about how big the screen was in the lead up. They had like three dinosaurs could fit in the screen.
How many T-Rexes can fit in the
Are we
SoFi
talking about
Dome?
Brontosaurus or are we talking about pterodactyl? What are we talking about here? There was a lot of it. This thing is big. How big? So big. Like so much of that. He won't believe.
So it starts and it's like, oh, that's a pretty big screen, but it's not like anything crazy. You would think it was 10 times bigger than the screen in Jerry World.
Yeah, I mean
the way they were talking about it.
We're in an era of jumbotrons. It's not like this is some new frontier.
Everybody was shocked out of the gate at the pace, and they're like, "Whoa!" Like golf shots can be hit this quick. Everyone, that was like the big shocking revelation was that golf could be played this quickly. There were so many ridiculous things. Something that I just started laughing uncontrollably about was the fact that Derek Stafford was involved with TGL season 1, that they had an NBA referee. And he just showed up and you're like, why is there an NBA referee? Why does there need to be an NBA referee here? But he's there. Brendan, you were on fire, as I alluded to earlier.
Sure.
You had a tweet about the Bay when they just got off to a hot start against NYGC. Comparing them to the 49ers, the Jerry Rice, Joe Montana 49ers. You had a screenshot of the introductions, and you asked a very prescient question: are these ball boys?
Yeah, what are those guys? Ball boys, like in the U.S. Open, scrambling to get the balls after they hit the screen. Why are they there? Anyways, all right.
And then you a really prescient point you alluded, and I think SVP referenced it on the next telecast, how dirty they did him with the caricature.
Yep. We have, by the way, these are on YouTube. We have a lot of visual assets PJ has worked to pull up. There's a PJ the tweets about the SVP caricature. And the ball boys. Check it out on YouTube if you need.
That's just horrendous.
Well, as I said, it looks like they put them through the serial killer filter. Terrible. God knows how much money they spend on all this stuff. Just
insane.
Every bell and whistle. Okay.
It's insane to think about how much money they spent on stuff that just flopped right away. DJ Khaled. Let's get to DJ Khaled. He was everywhere. They showed him doing like the entry walk that's usually reserved for players before like a big game
From the parking lot.
from the parking lot. A lot of people are like, wait, is he playing? Well, he pretty much was playing based off of how much we got from him. He was all over the place. The worst was the Marty Smith interview.
So
We'll
if
get
you
to
want to be
that.
competitive, I have a saying, bring 2 bags, a golf bag and a brown paper bag.
Love it.
Let's go golfing.
Thank you. Love it. I love it. Thank you, brother.
There was a 2-minute interview. I should have just sent the whole thing in. It doesn't make any sense. Nothing he said made any sense. He starts talking about when he played in the Dome and chipping off a green. It made no sense. And everybody at this point is just like, get DJ Khaled off the screen.
You tweeted this last night. I honestly, like, you could have told me this was 4 years ago. I totally banished this from my memory. I think he got banished from everything else. Had no idea this was 2025 that this happened. And
2 bags, your golf bag and a brown paper bag.
hey, can I ask, like, not to be naive, does he mean a 40 there? I assume in a brown paper bag? Am I being presumptuous? Lunch? What's he talking about?
I think a bag of cash, right?
Oh, okay. All right.
A brown paper,
A bag of
like,
cash.
I mean, there's like I'm thinking about that rap song, "Brown Paper Bag."
Oh,
You know,
okay.
some of that brown
just
paper
figured
bag money.
Drinking your beverage out of your brown paper bag.
I have
high school.
I have the full interview if you want to run it right now. That's up to you.
Let's run the whole interview.
All right.
Why not?
Let's go golfing.
Played this hole. Yes. All right. Well, first of all, how did that go? What was that experience for
It
you?
was incredible. First of all, I don't know if they're going to play the highlights, but I nailed all my putts, right? I hit a great drive, and then my putt, the one that went down the hill with the no look. You see, I did the no look, and then boom. I was inspired by Tiger Woods on that one.
My guys are trying to get the highlights right now. What did you say about Tiger?
I was inspired by Tiger Woods. When I putted it, I just walked away. I knew it was in. See, golf, if you have confidence, that's what it's about.
Okay.
And I want the young world to know out there, if you got confidence, you're unstoppable.
I have a lot of confidence. It doesn't help my golf game even a little bit, brother.
Don't worry, keep at it. But you know what? Golf is fun. But also, if you want to be competitive, I have a saying, bring 2 bags, a golf bag and a brown paper bag.
Can I? So TGL posted then the video of Khaled. Can I just read the first like 8 replies to the TGL when they posted the? It's from J Don Takes. Hey TGL, one quick note for next week: don't invite DJ Khaled back. Sledge, never ever do this again. Matt, fire whoever greenlighted this interview. Let's never have another interview like with Khaled again. This is how you lose your audience for good. I have very much enjoyed the broadcast, all caps, other than every second of that DJ Khaled interview. Everything was going so well until you all interviewed DJ Khaled. Never interview that guy again. Things were going great. Maybe no more Khaled. The only negative in your inaugural night was to let this clown have a word.
Well,
I mean,
it was also to allow Marty Smith to interview him because part of the problem was the interview questions didn't really rein the subject in on any focused topic.
A golf bag and a brown paper. Amen, amen, brother, amen.
So that wasn't it for Colin. He later then crashed the Ludwig Aubert post round interview with Scott Van Pelt. Yeah, he jumped in during on the Scott Van Pelt Sports Center interview. Jumped in at the end of it and crashed the SVP Ludwig winners interview. A lot of Colin. He was all over the place.
He did get he did get disappeared, I believe. Like after.
Well, he was still in the intro. He did the broadcast intro, but I don't know that he ever showed up again.
Okay.
I think he was actually there for President's Day, the triple header.
Oh, the triple header. We'll get to that.
I have to confirm that, but my notes, I think found that. This week we did a design a TGL hole contest.
That was fun.
It was really fun. It was amazing. We had some like crazy holes. We had the island hopping hole. We had the like in a city hole with like the bridges. The best part about it was when what video game is it? PJ?
PGA 2K.
PGA 2K influencer Apex Hound played the game and streamed it. Love the design. Love the course.
Influencer streaming. Yeah, that went well. Apex Hound.
Yeah, Apex Hound, like the golf course. The big golf club just absolutely routed NYGC. This was before NYGC hit their stride, before they found their lineup.
Look at this. Steve Cohen. Great screen grab by PJ. Steve Cohen, just 1,000-yard stare, looking like someone just shot his dog.
PJ's tweet, realizing that unlimited money in baseball gets you one Soto and unlimited money in golf gets you this. I would say Steve probably was pretty happy with NYGC at the end of the season, unlike the Mets.
I mean, they did better. Made the playoffs under 500. Can't say that for the Mets.
I think just generally people were either so in or so out on TGL. Like the reactions were just so polarizing.
It was.
Some people were just like, what an embarrassment for golf.
Yeah.
This is insane. Other people were like, you know what? This has a chance. It did 919,000 viewers were the numbers. That's I think Josh Carpenter tweet. And the Ricky and Fitz afterwards said a shot clock would work in pro golf. How about that?
It would work. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like you said, set the discourse around the PGA. Like some things that might not make the PGA Tour comfortable. Like more people are talking about this, either out of hate, love, reaction, capturing thought, and then obviously, pulling the pants down on some things we're told are not possible.
All right, in the Sony, do you know who won the Sony? Can you remember this?
No, I was it Siwoo?
No.
Who won it?
Peach, you know?
Boomy Boy.
Oh, yeah, we got the bobblehead. We got the bobblehead. That's right.
My daughter loves all my bobbleheads.
That's great.
That's with all of them.
That one actually took me a second.
So Nick Taylor wins. He chips in on 18. At the time of the chip in, he's 2 back of JJ Spawn, who was on 17 and melted down, didn't win. Kind of precursor to JJ Spawn's great year. You don't even think about it. He almost won the Sony too.
That's right.
He gets in a playoff. Do you know who he beat in the playoff, PJ?
I have a guess. I don't know if this is right. I know JJ Spawn blew it. I think it was Nico.
You're right.
Yeah. There you go.
Nico's red hot at this point. Nico at Chavaria. He beats in a playoff on a second playoff hole. That's enough for what happened in the tournament, really.
I think you're right.
The other note I have from the Sony, and this is like the thing, the TGL occupied this week.
Yeah.
Hideki did his one-hand finish, and the club head flew out of his hand and hit a fan.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah. Off the tee box. And they ended up making a birdie on the hole.
Wonder what the tour's insurance policy covers that. Might do some, kind of hire a tort lawyer, personal injury lawyer for that one. Dig around in Hawaii.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, some news. Eugenio Chichara talks to Flushing It.
That's right.
and about his experience on Live after leaving the Live tour. All right, here's some excerpts from this. When I joined Live, they promised OWGR and majors, but it didn't happen. I trusted them. I was the first young guy. Then others came after I made the decision, but OWGR and majors still hasn't happened. Chichara's motivation is to grind and get better. And to say, this is a quote, grind and get better, and to say I can be a PGA Tour player one day. They spoke about the implications on winning on both tours. He said, I see what it's like to win on the PGA Tour and how your life changes, how you get major access and ranking points. On Live, nothing changes. There is only money. It doesn't matter if you finish 30th or first, only money. So those were just some smoking gun damning quotes about life on the Live Tour.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had anyone who's gone over there. Actually, I mean, there's obviously been critics, but they're all from the outside or loyalists to the tour. This was the first real. Of course, we had the recanter, but he was very mum, and now he's recanted back. I don't think if he had gone full-blown scorched earth like Chikara, he would have been allowed back. Yeah, this is a big deal to hear, like, kind of firsthand accounts from inside the Live machine, what it's like. That's not, kind of propaganda. So,
yeah, I thought that was like a big moment. It also made young players might look at it differently because of those quotes. But then we also found out that Chikara can kind of be a pain in the ass.
Kind of seems impossible. So yeah, also that.
And sad news: the LA fires was going on right this time.
Yeah.
Devastating fires that will change that city for years and years. Obviously, with early Q1's tour plays there, they sent out a memo just about monitoring. Kevin Kisner makes news. This is just shortly after he was announced he was the lead analyst for the NBC. NBC, the rights holder for the Ryder Cup, their lead analyst accepts an ASCAP position in the Ryder Cup, thus making him unavailable to be the lead analyst for the biggest event that NBC has in the calendar year.
It's kind of insane. It'd be like, I don't know, whatever Collinsworth saying, I can't do the Super Bowl. You got to call Garrett because I can't do the Super Bowl.
Because I'm going to go be like a junior video analyst with whichever team will take me.
XFL preseason, like camp. I got to go get involved. That's kind of nuts.
It's insane.
Well,
I think it kind of shows his commitment. I've just heard rumors that he wasn't necessarily that committed to the job this year. And if you could have seen this coming, Gabby Herzig did a story with him at The Athletic in New York Times. He had, and this is his quote about the role, about the position. This is Kisner about it right after he signs up to do it. You think he'd be excited, right?
Yeah.
We
sure.
discussed it for a while, and I told them I still wanted to play my top 50 career money exemption, but I loved the opportunity. I liked the team. I was grateful for it. And if they're willing to work with me through 2025, that if I wasn't good on the golf course, I'd give them my all in 2026. And if I was good on the golf course, then they'd have to find somebody else in 2020.
Oh, no. What about TGL? What if he's good? We'll get to that in a minute. God.
So,
it's a big chair. You know how many people want that chair? Rights holders for 2 majors.
Crazy.
FedEx Cup, Ryder Cup.
They signed somebody up that was like readily to admit that his priority was playing golf.
My money exemptions. Crazy.
Trevor Immelman takes over as the chairman of the OWGR.
That's right.
Which spurred a lot of discussion about would Liv get ranking points. They still don't have them.
A position that no one ever knew existed or cared about who was in it until, 3 years ago. And now it's like, it's very like becoming this prime seat. So, yeah.
The DP World Team Cup happened. Do you remember this event?
Vaguely.
So it was
Middle East, right?
It was in the Middle East, but it was the GB&I versus Continental Europe
Team Cup.
In a Ryder Cup format.
Right.
Like basically the Ryder Cup, a practice run.
Yep.
Luke
Donald's there.
Think about the, Moldaris are the captain. Luke Donald's the captain. Justin Rose, Tommy Fleetwood, Tyrrell Hatton played. Continental Europe had a bunch of guys. Imagine that.
Yep. Dry run, ready to go. This was
Try some stuff out.
I don't know if you had this note. I think it came out the subsequent week. I had in mind that Donald hired. Do you remember this? Hired an American comedian to heckle them at this Team Cup to provide I don't think it came out this week. It came out later. It wasn't supposed to get out to prep for the Bethpage crowd, and that's where you had comedians, PJ's sort of disgraceful people out there. I don't know if they approximated it with the comedian in the Middle East, though.
I can't imagine, maybe I don't remember who it was, but Chris DiStefano with his best New York accent was out there, maybe just hurling whatever. I can't imagine it was dead on, but I'm glad they prepared.
Team Cup.
Liv launched their schedule. There's they had Valderrama, just more events before majors. Someone who played in the DP World Team Cup amidst rumors flying around was Tom McKibben. This is when rumors started to fly. He's going to Liv. Adam Scott says that the PIF negotiations are slow because of the DOJ. Other note, a fan did a hole-in-one challenge over Bryson's house. He made it on the 5th or 7th shot, made 100K.
What?
That went viral. It was when Bryson was doing all the in-house challenges.
Sure.
And it was during his off season. We'll probably see those start back up pretty soon again. And last but not least, Kevin Na made news. Got shipped out into the ether on Twitter by his statement saying that Liv winners should get auto exemptions into the Masters like PGA Tour winners.
I have no recollection of that happening.
So you win Liv Riyadh like the Marunk man, you get automatic place into.
That's what he thought the way it should go with the Masters. And we can't forget this moment.
If you want to be competitive, I have a saying, bring 2 bags, a golf bag and a brown paper bag.
Love it.
Let's go golf.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you for your spirit. Love it. All right.
That does it for Sony.
Okay, let's go to American Express Week out there in the desert. But before
we get there,
you
know what you could use your American Express on?
The Friday Golf Pro Shop.
That's right. That is an accepted payment.
That's a pro. That's a pro right there.
At the Fried Egg Pro Shop, which we've got a Black Friday sale going on until. Do you know when it goes till, Brendan? He took his mic off. He's probably trying to take a break.
I got to take a quick breather.
So it seems like PJ and I are taking the ball here, running with this Pro Shop ad.
We just did one
Tuesday.
We just did one on Egg Pod. We're ready to go. Runs until Tuesday, December 2nd. How about that? Black Friday is a week long. Brendan's going to love that. That's why he had to abandon ship.
Well, I mean, it was like a 2-week long Black Friday, to be completely clear. Because we started, last week?
Yeah. Last Friday, maybe? Yeah, so 10 days.
Yeah.
We
got so many hats. There's so many hats.
The hats. The hats are off the hook. There's a lot of hats.
There's a ton of Dratty gear. Lots of good stuff in there. Polos. This sweatshirt I'm wearing is in there. It's the not the Willie, it's the Russell crew neck. It's great. You got coffee mugs. You got all kinds of stuff. Tons of belts. There's lots of belts, a wide array of belts. There's Task workout shirts. There's a cricket corduroy button down. I love that. There's a lot of variety. Awesome calendars. Obviously, our prints are all on sale. This is the biggest discount we do all year. 20% off. What is the promo code, Peach?
BF sale. B is in black, F is in Friday. Sale. All one word.
If you're a Friday Golf Club member, you get 25% off. You just got to use your special little code. That's your code. If you got a question, email Will about that. But anyways, that's what we got going on. proshop.thefriedegg.com. Big thanks to everybody who's supported us. Obviously, we love seeing the gear out in the wild.
Love it. It's almost like you guys know what you're doing with podcast ad reads. Good job. Sorry, I had to get a water.
Well, we got to get on to the Amex.
Let's
Use
go
your
to
Amex card, and then listen to the Amex portion of this podcast.
I'll take any kinds of payment. Let's go to American Express Week. Okay, now this was a time of year as veterans of crappy football teams where the coaching hot seat is alive and well. And I just got to bring in the Echevarria fans won't be happy with us, but Vrabel had interviewed for the Jets. And PJ was like, oh my God, this could happen. You did the SpongeBob meme, which is before or after my time. I don't know what all that garbage means.
This was pre-Patriots firing Jared Mayo, so we had a chance. The door was open. It was there. I had talked myself into it.
And here we are, 10, 11 months later, and he's 10-2.
I was going to say, if you told me Mike Vrabel was 10-2 with an AFC East team, I would have been out of my mind.
Also looking for a coach were Andy's Chicago Bears. And Andy is like a dog with a bone. When the Bears tweet out that they completed an interview, he starts replying to every single tweet. Congrats. So we have David Shaw, Arthur Smith.
God, I was worried about Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy was a scary proposition.
Joe Brady. Just an absolute machine gunning. Andy replied. Brian Flores. Congrats. Just relentless. Adam Stenovich. Congratulations, Bears, on doing an interview. Eddie George interviewed by the Bears. Congratulations from Andy TFE. You were just a dog with a bone tweeting this out. Like, why do we have to tweet this? I remember you were incensed. Why are they tweeting like proud that they did an interview? So then you just started tweeting back at them. Congrats on conducting an interview. And finally, they announced that Ben Johnson finalizing the deal. You do the Andy Dufresne freedom gif. I just loved that. I loved it.
How about this? You would have told me there, January 20th. What record would you be happy with the Bears right now?
Yeah.
I think I would have been happy with like 4-7.
Real, you wouldn't have been happy, but accepting maybe 4-7's not good.
4-7's not good.
We started the year out 0-2.
Yeah.
And I was like perfectly fine.
Yeah. God, it was just funny.
We're 9-3 or 8-3.
It's just funny going through your Twitter archive, and I just see you tweeting congrats over, and I was like, "What's he doing? What's going on here?" You're just.
It was a great bit.
We've interviewed David Shaw. Congratulations, Bears. Pretty good, but you did get your guy. PJ got a guy, not Mike Vrabel.
Piss in my Cheerios after we got our guy.
He did.
Tried to piss it. He pissed in my Cheerios twice this year. Once about Ben Johnson, once about PCA. He's batting 500.
I was gonna say, you hit 500, you make the Hall of Fame, so it's okay.
It's just a lot can change in about 10, 11 months. All right, on golf, we learned there's a cursing room at the Global Home at the new profanity room. They said this is a place where the F's go to die. So they've got all these fancy, display boards, and they just have a cursing room. TGL just electric again. It overwhelms the discourse. Do you remember who was week 2 of TGL? It's the only time, as far as we know, that ratings broke through 1 million viewers. TGL week 2.
LA
Against Return of the Mac, Eye of the Tiger, Jupe Stinks makes its debut. Only time the TGL breaks through 1 million of recorded data. Jupe Stinks. Do we remember the score of this debut match? Second for Jupe Stinks. 12-1. LA absolutely slaughters Jupe Stinks.
Tom Sim didn't play, right?
Tom Sim did not play. It was Homa, Kevin Kisner, and Tiger, and they were just loopy. They were all over the place. It was not a good debut for Jupe Stinks. They lose 12-1. So then, like this, it was 9-2 week one. 12. They're like, I mean, they got to get some competitive matches, but the ratings are good, and they're capturing a lot of attention. Kisner, we wrote, was the star of the show, was struggling mightily in gameplay, providing some laughs on the hot mic. Thagala was like legitimately into it. He says, I've got goosebumps. Like, I'm really anxious. I can't feel the weight of my club. And then he's like, and then it was hitting like a club farther. I was like, is this adrenaline? Well, we learned maybe the sim wasn't entirely dialed in. You had a great tweet about like, I've never seen Tiger. Did I give you this to you, PJ? You said, is the simulator off? I've never seen Tiger miss a wedge that bad. And he tweeted 724 on Joe.
All these guys, they hit it like they're missing by 10 yards with wedges. It's like
he was 15 over on that one. That was when we started. The radar started to go up. But Thagala said it was adrenaline. Kisner had some great ball speed numbers because, of course, you're getting all the data, from the sim. And Kisner had 159 ball speed with the driver. People were chuckling at that. It was Tiger's 3-wood was 156, and Kiz was 159 with the driver ball speed. And then, of course, you had, I guess, the highlight of the year in TGL with the blade off the stick that just had everybody in stitches. Everybody in stitches.
Miami and Duke.
Oh, God.
It's currently airing on ESPN News. I apologize that
Morikawa's
we're
crying
about the hoops game at that moment.
It's 10-1 right now, and he blades one off the stick. Watch this slow-mo from the back.
Got it out of the bunker, unlike
Oh, just a rocket. So yeah, that was the highlight of the early season TGL. I mean, notably at the start of that clip was airing now on ESPN News is Duke basketball. People were not happy about this. Tiger made a comment like, "I hope everybody stayed and watched the whole tournament and or the whole event." And Homa cracks, "We got some Duke fans to tune in." Homa was like good. He was self-deprecating, but like kind of a nightmare. I think if you're ESPN, you've got a 10-1 match that's total snoozer that's running into Duke basketball game. What else happened this week? We had Matt Berry ask Max Homa if Kevin Kisner almost making a chip during the match would have been one of the greatest moments in golf history, which PJ lost it. He couldn't take it anymore. Homa's on the mic said, would that have been one of the greatest moments in golf history if he had holed the chip, but he didn't hole it.
It's my personal opinion on it. There is no personal opinion. I'm the president of the PGA of America.
They bring Serena in because it's LA Golf's debut.
Oh,
they bring Serena on the set. It was so bad.
This was so bad.
And they had her there for 15 minutes. She was on set. They're like peppering her with questions. 15 minutes. We wrote in the newsletter. She admitted good-naturedly seconds into her stint that she didn't know much about golf. I don't know much about golf. And her analysis was, they definitely got to start swinging a little bit better. Was her analysis on the Jupe Stinks as they were getting crushed down 0-5. They were for 15 minutes. And then you had Matt Berry saying the greatest golf shot in history. This is where we learned, this is just a major brand play, so much branding. So we had the UKG rail cam. And then we start to worry that the genesis moment of the match was Tiger simply walking out. was simply just walking out to Eye of the Tiger with the fog, so much fog, smoke machine. And that was the moment of the match. Like, oh, well, that's not a good sign if that's the genesis moment of the match. Lamagna, incredulous at how sticky and soft the turf is. He wrote in the newsletter, look, I understand this isn't real golf. You can roll your eyes at me, but it's befuddling that a golf ball lands and sticks immediately on every shot on TGL. It's a simulator league. You don't need firm conditions for the course to play bouncy. Why is it a dartboard? Why is the test completely aerial and the ground is no factor at all? Perhaps this was a request from Nicholas Design. There was a Cameron Morfitt article on PGAtour.com. He went to TGL. This blew my mind. We're like, these fans, are they real fans? Are they seat fillers? Are they crisis actors? He talked to an individual at the SoFi Dome, Kyle Lewis of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in a PGAtour.com article. This is the match I wanted to watch because Tiger is playing. He was in town from Pennsylvania visiting his mom. He paid $538 for a ticket before dropping roughly $600 in merchandise. This wasn't counting the Jupiter Lynx polo he bought earlier and wore to the match. So he dropped over $1,000 in tickets and merchandise. And this is as we're like figuring out, is this a real thing? And you have real people spending $1,000 on tickets and merchandise. It's just total alien behavior to all of us when they brought, but it was a real PGAtour.com article.
Unbelievable.
We got a golf advice question that was pretty good. His wife's water broke during the DJ Khaled interview and said, what do you tell people forever? Like when your wife went into labor, what were you doing? I was watching the inaugural TGL match and DJ Khaled being interviewed. That's your story.
That was a good one.
Great golf advice. Khaled did stick around and said, apparently blessed. Charlie Woods said bless up to the legendary Charlie Woods, who was in attendance, was asked by Kevin Kisner to come off, like sub in. We need you, Charlie. Do you want to play for me? That's it for TGL week 2. Just a total blowout, but the Kisner stuff and Tiger's debut. Good ratings. European Tour has its first big splash of the year. You have the Dubai Desert Classic. Rahm plays. He almost has never played this. He's typically in Arizona or at the Amex. He starts clamoring for OWGR points, saying, I think we're living in a golden era right now for golf where the possibilities are endless, to which Rory kind of pushed back as like, those are kind of rose-tinted glasses, if you ask me. I think what I would say is everything that's happened in the game over the past 2 or 3 years, what you can envision is a domination of American side of things that might come back a little bit in terms of not the game has never been global, but trying to build opportunities globally. So I think where we are, we're in a good position to grow that part of it. There's amazing players, but we're too disjointed, too many different tours. I would share Rahm's optimism if the game wasn't as disjointed and as fractured as it was. So rose-tinted glasses to Rahm saying we're living in a golden era right now. Maybe for the players, but not for the fan at that time.
Golden era.
At that time.
People don't get to watch, half the best players in the world. Because they play on a different tour.
On that point, we had Butch Harmon went nuts on Matt Adams, the fairways of life, just wandering down the fairways of life, not the bunkers of life. I said, quote, Butch, when you turn on the TV on Saturday and Sunday, you look at the leaderboard and the novice golf fan sees 10 names and has no idea who any of them are because it's not any of the superstars. That to me is wrong. The business side, it's at the worst it's ever been. If the commissioner had taken Yasser's phone call 4 years ago, we wouldn't be in this place. I think the arrogance of the PGA Tour, thinking they were the best game and only game in town, that nobody was going to come in and do anything about it. Well, we've seen what's happened. And all you want as golf fans want is to turn on the TV, and we want to see the best players playing against each other. That's all we want. And Rahm sort of added that. Liv, they told me early on, before I even signed, that we're not going to pursue OWGR points because they knew where it was going. I think at this point, to not give Liv world ranking points and the credibility it deserves, I think is wrong. I understand we've all made a decision. It's not easy as it sounds, but Liv players deserve spots in major championships. We deserve OWGR points. They have to figure something out. And I kind of had this big rant, I guess, of like, everybody's pointing fingers at these executives, and Jay didn't take a call, and the OWGR is this and that. Like, I mean, the players did all this. The players lit the house on fire and are essentially yelling at other people for doing it. And I don't know. It grew tiresome. And this was at a time when there was a ton of optimism that a deal would be done in Q1. What else?
I think the deal will get done in Q1 of 2026.
No. There's so many quotes like, "Oh, the deal's imminent. It's happening.
Yeah.
It's going on. We're going to get done." Not that quickly changed. What else happened? Ricky Fowler in the tour sponsorship, hot stove as they're talking about, goes from Grant Thornton to one of the big four, one CPA for another to EY. Goes from Ernst & Young, and I said,
what a smooth transition.
I said, if he gets sponsored by all big four, it'd be more impressive than winning the career slam by the end of his career if he could get a sponsorship with each.
So he needs Deloitte and Price Waterhouse Cooper.
Yeah, PwC, Deloitte. I think Grant Thornton isn't a big four. EY, there's one more we're missing. So
let's see, big four accounting firms. KPMG.
That makes sense. Elsewhere,
got a chance. KPMG, sure. They're active.
Yeah, women's PGA. I don't think they have the Phil outlay anymore. On the DP, Rory's playing with the short club. Remember, he's warming up with the short club. He comes in. He talks about how he didn't hit a ball, outside for however many weeks and months, changing his swing. Worked out. Had a pretty good year working with the short club. Victor is lost in the sauce. There'll be a year of kind of those kind of quotes. He has a new coach, allegedly. It's Dean. I forget his name. I had it in my notes somewhere. He's got a new coach. Liv announces that Scott O'Neill is joining the league as its new CEO. Rory is on the mic there. He says, Greg took a lot of flack the first couple of years. He's probably one of the only guys in golf who could have taken on that role, basically been the shit stirrer. He got off the ground. You have to commend him for that, but it's somewhat time for someone else with a bit more experience to take over. Hovland, and you love these quotes. You love these, like really speaking of the golf sicko, as a new coach. Just to put it simply, I had a lot of draw pieces in my golf swing because I'd always been a cutter and I wanted to see the ball not cut as much. And then you add more draw pieces in there, and suddenly I get sick and tired of missing it left. And now all I want to do is cut it, and compensation was not good for my swing. It's just a process of, shit happens. Like, I didn't go down there and say, no, this is better. I made a poor decision. That's the game of golf. So that's for it. I'm going too far left. I wanted more draw. Now I'm going too far left. Put the cut back in. Liv's TV deal with Fox is announced. Nothing really much happened with that. They did a big sort of unveiling with all their top guys, Phil, Brooks, Bryson.
What did they get for that one FS2 8,000 people?
I've got it coming for the Maruk man. It's like 55,000. Yeah, it wasn't a lot. 18 the first day. So that's big. We got a real TV network. But Dustin's like, no, we're on Fox in this big promo. Michael Block and Jolie D signed with Good. They're good pros for 2025. Blocky making his way into year in review.
And the Barista. Don't forget the Barista.
And the Barista is involved.
Isn't the chef involved too, Chapinski?
No, he's Lulu.
No, yeah. He switched to Lulu.
He was good. He jettisoned good. He got too good.
That I don't know.
I don't think he ever.
No, I don't. Maybe he wasn't ever.
We got a Toasty tale, our first of some this year. That Toasty took an entire caddy across to the Sony with him for the Monday qualifier, got through the Monday qualifier, then fired the caddy and put a new caddy on the back for the Sony. So he flew him all the way across to Oahu and then fired him and changed caddies for the actual event. We get the first notion this week of the tank slam. The septic tank slam. He's won a Honda, a John Deere, and now a Palm Springs Amex. Getting after. Now he'd add a Truist later, so that's a notable event.
Is this when he debuted the Chrome Dome?
Yes. We have a quote. PJ, do you have a quote like a philosopher king? I was kind of losing my hair, so I figured I would get in front of it and just go ahead and shave it off. So very matter of fact and to the point, which we liked from the now this was not hard. This is never hard golf course, but kind of some absurd stats. Tank basically didn't make a bogey. His first bogey came on the 16th hole on Sunday. Taylor Moore didn't make a bogey the entire week and finished 7th. Made 0 bogeys the entire week, finished 7th. The PGA Tour tweeted about a quote-unquote unlucky bounce at 17 because someone missed the green and hit the rocks at Alcatraz, and it went in the water, and they called it unlucky bounce, and immediately got ratioed and deleted by the end of the round. That's just the tour. At 17, they refused to play the tee box back because this is Tim Liddy had done it, come in and restored the golf course, built greens back out, some internal contours. People were fired up for this, just this restoration work. And they refused to play the tee box back because they were worried about the green being too firm and some wind. And they removed like the high carpet apron that was holding balls in. So they just refused to play it back. They played it at 158 all day, all 4 days, 3 boxes up. People like lost their mind. We had the Air Force coach tweeting us, like Tyler Goulding said, this is no joke. Honestly, it's set up easier than it would be for a college event. The tour just totally abdicating its throne on that. So it's 158. This is Lamagna in the newsletter. Huge shout out to Tim Liddy, the restoration efforts, whole locations, refurbishing bunkers, etc. On to the negative. Stadium course is never again going to punch golfers in the face like it did in 1987. Game has changed. It continues to baffle me, though, that the tour refuses to set up golf courses in a way that legitimately challenges players. Restoration of the stadium course included expanding the green on 17, replacing the thick strip of fringe that saved Aaron shots from finding the water. Instead of leaning into the challenge, they use the forward tees every round of competition. PGA Tour rep joined ESPN Plus and said the rationale with not using the back tee is that players, if they use the back tee, players would all play in the center of the green and away from the back left pin, reducing excitement. Well, what did we get? 6 birdies, 58 pars. 58 pars in the final round, and only 7 bogeys or worse. Only 3 shots incurred a penalty stroke on the final round. And Sepp Straka on the 17th tee, facing what should be an intimidating mid-iron, just hit a flip wedge, 144 yards to 40 feet, middle of the green, and 2-putted. So his rationale, if we played it back, it would just be middle of the green shots, is what happened.
That's
so
what
really
happened
soft,
either way.
Yep. So it was super soft setup. Then they had the pace of play, just disaster. And Lamagna called it was an unserious day on the PGA Tour. You're putting on high-level demanding championship. Doesn't seem to be the top of the tour's priority list right now. It also might just not be their forte. Andy, you tweeted about the pace of play. There were 5 hours into the round, and the final group just got to the 16th green. This was a brutal one. Joel Beal.
This is also when they go up against maybe not the championship, but it's the divisional playoff round, which Sunday. Is like one of the best days of NFL watching.
Yes. 3 hours, 50 minutes to get through 12 holes. Joel Beal tweeted, like TGL is out there ripping through, their singles or threesomes matches, and we got 3 hours, 50 minutes for 12 holes. Andy, you put a final bow on it. Said the final group took 339 minutes to play the final round of the American Express. This is it's got to be threesomes, right? It has to be threesomes. Yeah. That final round. One of my favorite things, totally deleted from the ether from this. So the Amex, they have the amateur, like the not celebrity pro-ams, the amateur stuff, but they didn't put names on caddy bibs because of threats against CEOs and things like that. Well, the PGA Tour live broadcast misidentified Will Chandler as one of like the businessman amateur partners on the broadcast. And they're like, oh, look at this amateur, like futzing around, hacking it out of the bunker. And, a bunch of people, Brentley tweeted, this is embarrassing. We had an internal debate on whether Jason Day has ever used a DeWalt tool because he's a new sponsorship, DeWalt. Fighter of the night, man. Get him in there. Champion of the sun. The sun.
There is about to be a lot of Jason Day in the next couple of events. That will not be the last day, man.
Do you have the Big Bill Mao stuff? Chairman Mao, William Mao made a 13 on 16, went down in the bunker, went, just back and forth, was made a 13 shot, 81 shot, 67 the next day. Art But Sports made this compared it to a 1939 painting. This became catnip, just absolute like string theory of over and over. across the green at 16, but shot 81 with the 13. Someone who didn't shoot 81, 64, Blades Brown made 10 birdies in his second round as a pro, in which we posit our PGA Tour setup's easier than junior golf for Blades Brown, who's going and shooting 64, 10 birdies. He did miss the cut, though. This was Blades Brown mania there for about a day. Elsewhere, what else do we have? Dubai, Tyrrell Hatton wins the Dubai, talks about what it means to him. So I would skip school to do that. He gets to the top 10 in the OWGR. Then it was like he's going to be in the Ryder Cup. He's qualified. He went on a tear in the DP World Tour fall events and then leads off with a win. Rory says he'll be amazing in New York. He doesn't give a flying fig. He's proved it. He'll be a massive asset to the Euro team. Leading that Dubai Desert Classic in the first round was David Ford. I know you talked recently about him. Like, how does he? Yeah. How does he get lost in the shuffle? He was leading the Dubai Desert Classic. I know it's just one round, but he was hot there for a minute early on. Egregious, awful backboarding going on at that Dubai event. Guys just slamming it. That last hole is a par 5. Guys just, Ewan Ferguson hit one and they say, oh, just playing it off the tent for eagle. That's what they say on the broadcast. That goes on every year there. What else do we have this weekend? Or this week? Brooks Koepka splits with Claude Harmon III. Says Pete Cowan and Jeff Pierce will handle everything from here on out. Colin Morikawa, WDs from the following Torrey Pines week. And it sounds like they're going to have the weakest field in 30 years. I'm sure we'll get to that. There's a run of WDs as we think, maybe they're going to come back for Genesis. Everybody gets out of Farmers. We have the Cleeks rebrand is announced. The big Cleeks rebrand is announced. And it said they are in a tweet. In a tweet, they said, quote, they're shaping the future of golf. The Cleeks are doing. I don't know, debatable whether the Cleeks are shaping the future of golf, starting with our new logo. That's what they're up to. Well, now they got Victor Perez. Maybe they are shaping the future of golf. This week was an absolute bonanza for Champions Tour content. Ernie Els beats Bernhard Langer, in which he says his offseason consisted of I played a lot of golf, I drank a lot of beer, and I ate a lot of good food. So a little bit different. Drank a lot of beer, played some golf, ate a lot of good food.
That's what you do in Portugal when you're making your new course.
He wins at Huayllai. But the biggest news on the Champs Tour was Zaner is back. We thought he'd been banished to Siberia, but he doesn't end around, gets a deal with PGA Tour Productions. Now he's calling Champs Tour. PJ's just giddy about this. They do this formal handoff out in Hawaii where they go four wide.
Oh, yeah.
Zaner is joined by Lanny Watkins. As Watkins signs off, is like, au revoir. Here's the torch, giving it to Zaner. Rob Lowe all of a sudden shows up. It's Rob Lowe, Bob Papa, Lanny Watkins, and Paul Zaner are on some railing on a hotel room at Huayllai on live TV. Just PJ's tweeting, we are so back, baby. He's throwing barbs at the Giants, Rob Lowe to Bob Papa. Zaner is just laughing. All of a sudden,
good friend.
Lowe wears a Champs Tour hat, the same way he wore an NFL hat. It's just says PGA Tour champions. Just rooting generally for the league itself. Rob Lowe. Hale Irwin then replaces Rob Lowe. They go four wide again. Just like four burly boys on the railing on TV. PJ's so happy. Some quotes from you suggested Bernie bogey to par 5. And Zaner was stunned into speechless when Bernie, and you're like, we're so back. We've never been more back. Some quotes from Zaner. He said, Jerry Kelly has the guts of a burglar. Then also said, Jerry Kelly has the hockey brain.
Hockey brain.
When a golfer has hockey brain, he's pretty tough. So Jerry Kelly, guts of a burglar and hockey brain within the first Zaner broadcast.
I will say this was just kind of a good taste for the rest of the year because I don't know if Zinger has any more respect for anybody on earth than he does Jerry Kelly. He only speaks glowingly about Jerry Kelly every event.
Bernhard Langer He shot 67 in the PGA Tour Champions. Suggests he breaks his age again, which Will tweets, pops him. Did he get to tee off from 3 tees ahead of the rest of the field again? Will Knights, who then got ratioed himself. You should know better than this. It's beneath you, Will. You are better than this. Will's
People are not happy.
Making a joke. I'm just making a joke. Because, of course, he got the
I wonder if
tee off.
Jason was on the bag.
That's from the PNC. I think that's
we're
it.
We're about to see Jason Langer again.
That's right. We're getting into Jason Langer season. I think that's it for Champs Tour stuff. Tour announces that they're going to Riviera is not going to host the Genesis Invitational. It's official. Don't have a replacement yet. Venue will be coming. There's a mini Tiger Bridgestone controversy. He says 25 years and counting with Bridgestone Golf. He tweets, excited to see the team growing and continue our journey. Well, what? Like, he played Nike ball, but like we knew it was a Bridgestone ball with the Nike stamp. But he says it out loud, 25 years and counting with Bridgestone, which continues sort of the theme that the divorce with Nike was the kind where the parents don't stand next to each other on the sidelines, soccer sidelines. Doesn't seem like it's been Bridgestone, 25 years.
Do you see who's on that graphic?
Oh, you're a master of karate and friendship for everyone.
The Masters debuts a commercial this week set to Or, which just kind of blows people's brains, blows people's minds. Tiger stays with Bridgestone. Phil announces a new clothing partnership with Primo Joggers. I believe this is Grant Horvat's also partner, and it's like Phil going around in joggers. I've always been a big fan of joggers. I love my joggers. Phil is in with Primo Joggers. And then Xander, last but not least, Xander announces he's a WD from the FIO, the Farmers Insurance Open. That's his hometown event. And we conspiracy theorize, this is before he's announced any kind of injury, that he's doing this to get out of TGL obligations. We had heard he maybe wasn't a big TGL guy. Like, is he WDing from tour events so he doesn't have to show up for TGL events? And so he's out of Farmers Insurance Open. This concludes the Pace of Play, Dartboard Soft, Septic Tank Slam, American Express. And it concludes part 1 of the year in review. We're on a torrid pace here.
Not a hot start for our pace. We'll try and get better next episode.
We've done the
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you on Friday.